Whoa, antivirus. Okay, cool. Is that recording? It is. Yo, thank you very much for your check-in and your check-in. Um, Screenomatic, which is what I use to record my check-in, so video feedback, decided to cut halfway through and then crashed, and then my computer turned off. So kind of have to do this twice, but that's absolutely fine. Things you deal with, especially you're on prep and low calories, and little things like that. I literally just sat in my chair and I was like, "Today, really, today?" But yeah. Anyway, I hope you had a good upper session, or if you're watching this after your upper session, then I hope you had trained well and managed to get some PBs going into the session. I want it to rain as well, badly. I'm fed up with this heat. It makes me not be able to sleep at night. I want it to cool down so I can have a good night's sleep, and especially on prep as well. When like the heat plus calorie deficit is not a good thing. It makes you one mardy motherfucker and one lethargic motherfucker as well. So yeah, it's good that you're itching to sort of train still, which is really good. At the point where you find it like a job, or at the point where it's kind of like now you have to go in and get it done, you don't necessarily really enjoy it. The gym performance is still there because you've got a purpose, but the point where you go in and you're like, oh, this is this again. This is the point I'm at. You're in a deficit. You're really feeling the effects. So the point to make here is that you're still up for sessions, which is really good. Which is pretty much what I'm like in an off season. Like I'm itching to train, itching to lift heavy, etc. So the fact that you're still itching to train is really good. Honestly, I want you to try and maintain that mentality. Obviously, always we're going to chase progression with every lifts that we do. Sorry, I'm just reading the goals bit on your client information bit. I think you changed it. It says get to a good aesthetic point and then get massive. So you've obviously I've only just noticed you've changed that. But anyway, yeah. Anyway, yeah. Well, chase progression. Always, always, always. So even if you're in a deficit, always try and chase that jump, try and chase the progression, because then you've got muscle retained there as well. If you get to the point where I'm at as well, you're just trying to retain. You go in and try and pick up the same weights that you did last time, but it will come down. Like the leaner you get, and it does correlate to strength. If you're 210 pounds, I was 180 pounds and I was deadlifting about 220 for about 5. I'm now doing 176, so that straight down. But I've also dropped about 35 pounds, so there is obviously a correlation there. I wouldn't with like a deadlift. It's such a massive compound movement, so I wasn't able to hold on to that. But with little things like isolation movements, you should be able to hold on pretty easily. Your compounds, so your bench press, your any pushing movements, heavy pushing movements, shoulder and chest. Pulley movements you should be absolutely fine with. I'm still maintaining strength on all pulley movements. It's just a push and lower movements that take a hit first. So when you get leaner and dial it down a bit more, they will come down, and you have to kind of accept that. Like, there's also a difference between accepting it and being a pussy. Like, you can go in and be like, okay, I'm just going to accept, this is going to get down. But then that's just people saying because they don't want to train hard. If you train hard and then the weight's still coming down, then you just got to accept it. And at that point as well, it might not be muscle loss. It's just the fact that your weight needs to correlate, the amount of weight you're actually pushing. So when that does happen, don't feel too disheartened. But that shouldn't happen for another sort of maybe 5-6 pounds, I'd have thought. So still going to the session, trying to think, yeah, I'm going to beat all these numbers. You have to have that mindset. If you don't, then like I said, yeah, you just have to have that. Even I go in like that. I go in saying I'm going to maintain or I'm going to PB. I'm sort of PBing on things, not necessarily weight, but it's reps. So that's another way you could PB. So, like, say, for example, you do 40 kg dumbbell press, one week you got 9, next week you got 10, that's still a PB. That's kind of how I'm progressing in a minute, just grinding out that extra rep. So they're my PBs, not necessarily heavier weight. But, yeah. So it's really good that you're staying consistent with your macros and also your weigh-in times. That really just help get consistent data, which you have. You're actually not a pound down. You're actually your weight hasn't moved really much at all. Last week's 168, and this week is 167.11. So it's not that much difference. It's like a pound, no, 0.1 pound. So we are going to make some changes. I'm glad that you're split. You're still enjoying it. I've made one change. The idea behind what I like you to do, the way I program things, is you hit a main. So let's take triceps for example, because that's obviously what we're working. You'll hit a main compound movement, and then you'll hit an isolation of that movement. So you'll hit, like, say for example, tricep pushdowns, which is like you use both hands, and then you do a kickback, which is one hand. So you're isolating each tricep, and that will stop any sort of imbalances, etc. So ideally, I don't want you to do tricep pushdowns plus dips, because there's no isolation work there. So what we're going to do is we're going to replace dips with pushdowns, but we're going to do single tricep cable extension. So, with the pushdowns, you're either using a rope, so this is a pushdown, or you're using a straight bar, so that's a cable pushdown. Replace those with dips, which is what you enjoyed and you get really good contraction with. And then the single tricep cable extension is basically the same as a cable pushdown, but you're using one at a time. So you grab the cable at the bottom end with no attachment. So the attachment, you can either put stuff on it, hold like the little ball, and all you're doing is extending your tricep, but once at a time. So one tricep at a time. So you're doing 12 to 15, so 15 and then change arms. You can do this standing, or you can almost kneel down and put the notch lower and do it straight back. So it's almost a kick back, but you are doing it on the cables. But for this example, I want you to stay upright and you just hold the position here, potentially hold the bar in front of you, and you extend down. So both arms, singular items, isolation movement. So they're the changes on your push sessions. Let me know how that goes. Let me know if you enjoy that. Dips are really good. I'm gonna probably experiment with heavy dips in my off season, just to grow my chest, and my triceps don't really need that much work, but ideally just to get some tricep work in my off season. I'm gonna try and grow shoulders, back and legs, and then my arms I won't really touch. I'll only touch through other movements, so pulling movements and pushing movements. Still have some arm engagement, but I don't really need to grow them in my off season. My off season I need to work hella hard on just getting wide and wide, so that will win me more shows in the future. But yeah, let me know how you go with those. So you've got an isolation there still. Changes, we are going to make some changes. Your carbs are going down to 210, fats at 45, and protein at 180 still. The reason behind this is it's 100 calories a day. Ideally you can take them from carbs, but I want to keep your carbs fairly high due to energy levels and performance, and carbs is satiating, and protein is up there as well for recovery, and also satiating as well. And then fats will come down by, because fats has majority calories. So if you didn't know, per 1 gram of fat there's 9 calories, and per 1 gram of carbs and protein there's 4 calories. So bringing your fats down by 5, which is 45 calories, and then taking the remainder of the 100 from carbs. So that's how we're situating it. No changes in steps or cardio, still maintain them. So 200 calories after each session. Steps the same, but just the change in calories there. And also the slight change there in your split. But hope you had a good upper session, and any questions, like always, then fire away, and chat soon. Oh shit, actually, yeah, Merc. I don't know why I forgot. I think I'm going to go for that Merc. I like grey. I was going to make it like a blue metallic colour. Can't decide yet, but yeah, they're just so much more sophisticated. Can't say that word, you know what I mean. And I just love the way it looks, and it's just a classy car. I don't want some. I think everyone has BMW nowadays as well. It'd be nice to have something different. But yeah, and also I'm keeping my prep really quiet. Like, as you can probably tell on my Instagram, I don't really post that much, and I don't really post much physique updates. That's not to be intimidating or anything. I kind of want to post on show day and be like, and everyone will be like, shit, like, wow. But what I'll do is I'll send across a photo of me from this morning. just so you know. You know what I look like, just you. But yeah, any questions? Like always, chat soon, and I hope you have an awesome week. And I'm sure we'll chat soon in the week anyway. Cheers, Ed.